Acting U.S. Attorney in New York and 5 others quit after being told to drop Eric Adams' case. 3 senior Justice Department officials in New York and Washington resigned Thursday instead of complying with orders from the Trump administration to dismiss the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The flurry of resignations and protests represents the sharpest rebuke to date of the President Donald Trump's team leading the Justice Department, which has spent its opening weeks in office firing prosecutors connected to the cases against Trump and demanding information about the thousands of FBI agents involved in the investigations of the January 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol. In an 8-page letter, Danielle Sassoon quit her post as acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York instead of dropping the Adams case, saying the New York mayor's attorneys repeatedly urged what amounted to a quid pro quo to help Trump on immigration if the case was dropped. After Sassoon said that no prosecutor in the Adams case would sign the dismissal court filing, acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, one of Trump's former personal lawyers, turned to the Public Integrity section at Justice Department headquarters, according to 2 people familiar with the matter. The resignation snowballed. Kevin Driscoll, the top career prosecutor in the Public Integrity section, and John Keller, the acting head of the office, also resigned Thursday rather than carry out the administration's order to dismiss the case. As many as 3 additional Public Integrity prosecutors also tendered their resignations later Thursday, according to 2 sources. The Justice Department's direction to drop the federal corruption case against Adams challenged the independence of the country's most prestigious U.S. Attorney's office charged with rooting out wrongdoing in the nation's biggest city. Matthew Podolsky, a career prosecutor, is now acting U.S. Attorney. Sassoon resigned before Bove could carry out plans to fire her, 2 people familiar with the matter said. Bove issued the directive to dismiss the case following a recent meeting in Washington at the Justice Department attended by Adams attorneys Alex Spiro and William Burke, as well as Sassoon, 2 prosecutors on the Adams case, and the head of appeals. Bove directed prosecutors to drop the case as soon as is practicable in a 2-page memo Monday. His memo cited the fact that the prosecution unduly restricted Mayor Adams' ability to devote full attention and resources to the illegal immigration and violent crime, making clear the political motivations behind the decision. Bove, who called for the meeting, asked pointed questions throughout the focus on what the Trump administration has dubbed the weaponization of political foes and whether the case has impeded Adams' ability to do his job as mayor, according to a source with knowledge of the meeting. Adams' legal team argued the looming criminal charges made it difficult for the mayor to lead the city and prepare for trial, plus as much as 2 months sitting in a courtroom meant he couldn't run city government, the person said. They also focused on recent actions by the former U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Damian Williams, who launched a website and wrote an op-ed that Adams' team construed as a nod that he might seek political office, the person said. Adams' attorneys asked for an outright dismissal of the case. Several days later, on Monday, Bove issued his directive ordering a dismissal without prejudice, meaning the case could be revived in the future after the mayoral election in November 2025. By then, Trump's choice to run the U.S. Attorney's Office, Jay Clayton, would be confirmed by the Senate and running the office. There is no date for Clayton's confirmation yet. At the White House on Thursday, Trump denied that he personally directed the Justice Department to dismiss the indictment against Adams. "No, I didn't," Trump said. "I know nothing about it. I did not." What amounted to a quid pro quo. In her resignation letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Sassoon wrote that she was baffled by the decision to drop the charges against Adams. "I remain baffled by the rush and superficial process by which this decision was reached, in seeming collaboration with Adams' counsel and without my direct input on the ultimate stated rationales for dismissal," Sassoon wrote. "Mr. Bove admonished me to be mindful of my obligation to zealously defend the interests of the United States and to advance good faith arguments on behalf of the administration." The U.S. Attorney wrote that dismissing the Adams case will amplify rather than abate concerns about weaponization of the department, and that Adams is already using the memo to publicly assert his innocence. Sassoon said that her office is prepared to seek a superseding indictment from a new grand jury.